All right, what's going on, guys? The Negro Shotty here. I'm here with my co-host Rex Sparks, and today we're going to be talking everything about Justice League. We got to see a movie a few weeks ago. We both didn't have time to really do a review for the movie, so we're gonna take the next hour and maybe hour and a half to just talk about the movie. And I guess we can kind of get into our overall thoughts on Justice League. What do you think overall?
Overall, I think that it could have been better. It could have been a lot better if it wasn't for the reshoots because it obviously really did feel like something was like missing in between. Um, but better than I did like Batman versus Superman and Suicide Squad because I think those were absolutely terrible, terrible movies. So if I had to, I probably would. I probably would. I'd pick it, but I probably would. I can't say the same about Suicide Squad and Batman vs Superman. I like this so much better than I did those two movies, so I did enjoy it.
Yeah, same here for me. I think that this is pretty much DC's third best. I would say that like it's their second best movie in my opinion. I told you coming out this movie, I said that I thought that Justice League was actually better than Wonder Woman in a lot of ways. I think the acting is better than Wonder Woman. Not only the acting is better, it's really kind of. I really feel like the villain. This movie had the same villain problem that Wonder Woman had,
Mm.
and it also had that whole third act problem that a lot of DC movies have, and a lot of CGI issues. But I felt like this movie, like you said, the whole thing with the reshoots and everything, it did kind of come off as, I don't want to say necessarily disjointed, but because we had two different directors on the movie, it did kind of feel like we were
Jank.
getting two different types of films in one. It seemed like we were getting a Zack Snyder film and then also a Joss Whedon film all in one. But overall, I was pretty entertained by it. I was expecting it to be I was expecting it to actually be worse than Batman versus Superman, given all of the reshoots and then Zack Snyder having to step away from the project because of his family, and then Joss Whedon coming on board, and then about the production, all the issues with the production of the movie. But it was a lot better than what I thought it would be. I was definitely into the characters. I think they nailed for the most part all the characters except for Ben Affleck's Batman. I think that the characters really made this movie a lot better than what it would have been if they had screwed up all the characters and stuff.
Yeah, more or less, yeah. I even like Cyborg. In that really, I still believe that he should not be a Justice League member. He still should be a Teen Titans member. But I don't know, New 52 and everything. He's got to be in the Justice League now. I even liked him in this movie, and that's saying something because I just don't like him in this position. But Affleck, oh boy, you could tell that he did not. He just wasn't in it like at all. Somewhat.
Every five
That's just
every
me.
5 minutes we get a new article talking about Ben Affleck leaving the Justice League. Well, not leaving the Justice League. Well, leaving the DCEU. All these talks about Ben Affleck wanting to leave, and then there's also reports every 2 days that he wants to stay. Like it's just up in the air whether he's going to be Batman in the new trilogy, or whether somebody else is going to take up the mantle. We already heard rumors about Jake Gyllenhaal. But something, just to get back to what you said about Cyborg, about the fact that you like Cyborg, I was actually surprised by Cyborg's portrayal by, I believe the actor's name is Ray Fisher. I got to look it up, but I believe the actor's name is Ray Fisher. I was surprised because judging off of the trailers and stuff, the only thing you could really focus on when you look at the trailers that came out for this was just the bad CGI on Cyborg.
It's how janky the 3D on him looks.
But the thing is that he actually brought a lot to the role. and the character was very sympathetic. I actually wanted to see more of Cyborg. You know, for the little that they gave Cyborg in this movie, I actually liked him, and I'm actually okay with him being. I'm actually okay with him being part of the Justice League now that I've seen this version. But the only thing is because they cut so much of the movie up because of DC wanting this movie to be shorter so that they can make more money, so that they can get more play times, more run times in the theaters. As a result of Warner Brothers coming down and saying you need to cut this movie up, you need to make this movie, what was it, like 2 hours or whatever. But yeah,
Yeah.
they cut the movie up, and there were some scenes. If you go back and watch the trailer, there were some scenes in this movie that were completely missing. There was a scene in the trailer with Cyborg. It looked like he was saving a cop from something. It looked like he was saving a cop. It looked like there was more action scenes and more stuff with Cyborg in there. And I heard that there was a lot more stuff with Cyborg in there that was cut. But the little stuff that we got for the Cyborg, I definitely liked the character. I like I said, I did not think that. I just thought that Cyborg was going to be very deadpan. That the actor wasn't really. I felt like the actor wasn't really emoting enough. Just judging off the trailer and everything, I just thought he would be very deadpan and very bland. But surprisingly, the actor brought a lot to the role, and I could say that also something about Ezra Miller's Flash. That's another character that kind of surprised me because when we first got the first reveal trailer for Justice League, I wasn't really feeling Ezra Miller Flash because I felt like they were trying to be too much like Spider-Man, Spider-Man in Civil War, where like they have to have the character who's jokey, who's very jokey,
Honestly,
and who's always saying quips and stuff. Not go ahead.
honestly, I thought he'd be the most annoying character in the movie, to be honest with you. When I first looked at the trailer, I'm like, oh no. Oh no.
Yeah, like that was
Why are you
a lot
doing
of people's
this?
fears was that he was going to be like really annoying, and for the most part, most of his jokes landed. The whole pet cemetery joke, and just a lot of his jokes landed more often than not. I think that a lot of the humor in this movie, like you can really tell, or at least for me personally, I feel like I can tell which parts of the movie was Zack Snyder and which parts of the movie was Joss Whedon in terms of just certain moments. Like there is this moment in the movie where uh, you remember Wonder Woman got accidentally got her lasso on Aquaman while they're talking, and like Aquaman just starts talking about how pretty she is and how the Atlanteans and the Amazonians were fighting a long time ago, but he said he wasn't part of that. That sort of scene right there that I'm referring to, and then a few character moments in the movie. You can tell that that's all Joss Whedon, all the funny,
Yeah.
lighthearted stuff in there. It's all Joss Whedon. You can definitely tell.
Yeah, you definitely yeah, you can definitely tell when it's like it's even one or the other's movie. It, those reshoots really do like, oh, okay, this was Whedon, this was Snyder, this was Whedon, but it worked out. It worked out, but it still doesn't help. Like this movie was like really, really missing a few things, like some of the trailer shots.
Yeah, it's all that stuff. I mean, a lot of stuff got cut. Iris West was supposed to be in the movie. They cut her. Really, Dark Side. At first, I guess Dark Side was supposed to be in the movie. Really, I think this movie was supposed to be taking a different direction than what it took in the actual cut. Because I believe that Steppenwolf was actually supposed to bring Superman back or something like that. Because that whole thing with like the nightmare scene in Batman versus Superman, they didn't really have a payoff for that. They didn't have a payoff for a lot of the things that they tried to set up in Batman versus Superman. And this was the movie that they could have went ahead and said, okay, Batman versus Superman was garbage, but let's go ahead and follow through with what we were trying to establish. because that whole scene with the Flash going back to kind of talk to Ben Affleck's Batman and saying, "Oh, Lois is the key. Lois is the key." I mean, they did kind of pay off that, but they didn't pay off like the nightmare sequence.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, they really didn't. They really didn't.
Yep.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. Continue. I know you got more.
Speaking of the Man of Steel, since I'm kind of talking a little bit about him, uh, there were some people that said the whole thing with his like CGI mustache that was bothering them throughout the film. That they can definitely tell the CGI was like bad or whatever. I honestly didn't notice it. I mean, I guess you have to like really be looking for it because
Yeah, you
honestly,
really
I
have to
didn't
be
notice
going
it.
out of your way. You really have to be going out of your way to find something like that. I really did not notice. And that's where half the budget went, by the way.
Yep,
That's where.
I can't remember the exact amount, but they spent a boatload of money trying to CGI out his mustache, which I thought was stupid. There's a lot of things that are kind of inconsistent about this movie. Now that I think about it, there are things that are either inconsistent or that doesn't make sense. Like the whole fact that at the end of Man of Steel, you see the rocks, the dirt and stuff kind of rising up, which was supposed to be sort of like an Easter egg or basically a hint to the audience that Superman is going to come back in the next movie. But then the whole thing is they brought Superman back in this movie, but like his corpse should be like decomposed by this point. He comes back
Uh-huh.
fine.
He should be having a bunch of maggots in his eye holes and shit. I'm sorry, I'm getting graphic, but he should not be looking like he just stepped out of the tennis salon. Okay.
And from like from my understanding, like in the comic books, when he comes back, and somebody in the comment section can probably correct me if I'm wrong, but he comes back and it's like he was hibernating the whole time, and so his hair and stuff grows out, if I remember correctly. So the whole thing with a mustache that would have been fine. They did like I feel like they wasted money. They could have kept the mustache in. It would have made sense. Just have him grow his hair longer. I'm sure he couldn't cut the mustache, but I'm pretty sure he can cut his hair. I'm pretty sure he can grow his hair out and then cut it again for Mission Impossible. I'm referring to Henry Cavill, by the way. Um, Speaking of just Henry Cavill, the actor, um, again, I feel like he does a great job as Superman. You know, all the haters talking about how he is very, bland in the last few movies. I've always liked his Superman. I think that this has really been the definitive Superman for me. I felt like that they were trying to give him his own movie arc, whereas in the past when a Superman movie or when a Superman character is established, he's already happy-go-lucky, very hopeful character. Whereas if you look back from Man of Steel up until now you see this transformation of a Clark Kent and Superman that actually knows what he wants to do, actually knows that his mission in life is to save people and stuff. And when he comes back in this movie, that was that great sequence where they bring him back, and then basically Superman goes kind of crazy. He's out of it. He's not himself, and he starts to attack the rest of the members of the Justice League. And I thought that was a great scene.
And terrifying, considering like how OP Superman really is. It's like Injustice 2 lied to me. And in reality, Injustice lied to me because it's like if Superman is this OP, all of you at once, and figure out where Flash is running to, then
Yeah,
he
man, that
should
was
be
great.
he should be untouchable in the game. His health should not even be going down. We shouldn't be juggling him, okay? By that count. Sorry, but
No, it's
that
fine.
whole scene with him looking where Flash is going, and Flash like, what?
Yeah,
What?
Flash tries to run around him, and then all you see is Superman's eyes just following him. and the audience was shocked, and I thought that was a great scene. And then like he tripped. Something I will say about the Flash, everyone keeps pointing this out, the way that Ezra Miller's Flash is running. They keep
He
talking about
runs, yeah.
the way he runs. Like I didn't really notice it. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really notice it. I mean, he did
I
kind of
didn't.
trip and fall a lot. You know, he was a little clumsy. But even people that kind of speculate that he might be a little special because the way he talks and the way
He
he
runs
interacts with
so,
everybody.
dude. He runs so jank, so jank. It's just so jank. I look back and I'm like, oh my god, why did I not point this out? Why did I not see this when I was in there? I'm like, oh my god, his run's so ugly looking.
Like honestly, I didn't notice it, but everyone else did. But outside of the run and everything, Ezra Miller's Flash, I actually enjoyed it. There was some really funny moments with him, like when he first gets to so they first get into the Bat Cave, I guess you want to call it. And he's like, "Oh, this is your lair," and he just starts running around, messing with stuff, and like Bruce is like, "Barry, come on!"
I was
Like
really hoping that they.
he really is. He's basically like the audience's. I forgot, it's a term for it, but he's basically supposed to be the audience. You know, geeking out about being in Batman's lair and geeking out about being around all these other superheroes.
Wouldn't you? Wouldn't you if you had powers and you were just like in the Batcave? I'd be doing the same thing if I was him.
Yep. And just to get into the other characters, because we haven't really mentioned the other characters, Wonder Woman, played by Gal Gadot, and Jason Momoa. Jason Momoa's Aquaman. How do you feel about those two?
Jason Momoa reminded me so much of Roman Reigns, but still, he was version of Aquaman I've ever seen. I don't care what anyone has to say. This is probably the best iteration of him ever because like Aquaman's gotten shit on so bad.
He became a running joke, basically.
For like ever. As long as I've watched DC stuff, it's like this man has always been a joke. And when this comes out, it's just like keep this. Keep this. This is the best he's ever been. This is the best the character of Aquaman has ever been. Okay, so
I mean,
keep him like
they try to make him really cool.
So I liked it.
They
I
turn
liked
him
this.
into Aqua Bro.
I like this Aqua. I like Aqua Bro, bruh.
Yeah,
And-
dude. Yeah. Yeah. 25 seconds.
I don't care, man. It worked. It worked for me. It worked. I mean, what hasn't been said about her performance as Wonder Woman? She knows she's been Wonder Woman, or at this point, it's like okay, you pretty much like, all right, I can deal. I can deal. You're good. You're still good in it. A little over the top sometimes, but but okay, pretty good.
See, like, here's the
For
thing
now.
about her. I felt like in this movie, I felt like she was better in this movie than she was in her own movie, or in Batman versus Superman. There's a scene in this movie at the beginning where these terrorists threaten to basically kill all these people, and like she's blocking the bullets and everything. I thought that was a great scene, and really overall, I thought that Gal Gadot's performance in this movie was way better. I always thought that she was just serviceable in the role, but she did a lot better in this movie. And I've said it once, I've said it again. I've said it once, I'll say it again. Wonder Woman is an overrated movie, and Wonder Woman is better in this movie than she actually was in her own standalone movie. You know, the crazy thing is people were like geeking out over the whole No Man's Land scene in the Wonder Woman
Really?
standalone movie, but I thought that whole scene in this movie where she's blocking the bullets was way better than just about everything I saw in Wonder Woman. That's the ironic part. At
Yeah,
least I find it ironic, at least.
Dude, I still say this, man. This Wonder Woman came out in the same year. This is the same year we had Logan, Guardians, Volume Two,
Spider-Man.
and and Spider-Man: Homecoming. And you're mean to tell me out of those three that I've given you, you're gonna say Wonder Woman's better than all three of them? Get the hell out of my
People
face.
say it's
Go
as
look at
good as
Logan
Dark
again.
Knight.
Go look at Logan again. Look at Logan in noir form if you have to. You do not get to say Wonder Woman is better than any of those three movies, okay? Especially Homecoming and especially Volume 2. I
Yeah,
will.
I just watched Spider-Man: Homecoming again over the Thanksgiving weekend. No way in the world is Wonder Woman a better movie than that. Like
There
Wonder Woman
is no
has, like
way.
I said, Wonder Woman has its issues. You know, it has the same issues. I feel like it has this probably just about the same amount of issues that this movie has, or even worse. I mean, it had bad acting, a horrible third act. It had all its villains. It had two villains that were just laughable, horrible dialogue, all that stuff. And like I said, horrible third act, horrible CGI mess of a third act. And that's also a problem that the Justice League movie also has. But before I get into that, the whole issue with like the CGI and everything, uh, let me just talk about Aquaman for a second because I just like you, I enjoyed the character also. I like this take on him. He's Aqua Bro, he's Aquador. I like that.
Aqua
Something
Rain.
that he did, something that he did in the movie. Like here's the thing that kind of irritated me though, and here's something that I don't think DC is getting right. It's the whole fact that Batman is the most secretive character out of
Oh, yes.
everybody in the Justice League.
I know
He's
where you're going with
somebody
this.
that has contingency plans just in case one of the Justice League members ends up going
Mm-hmm.
AWOL. He has a plan to defeat them. He's that type of dude. He's always resourceful and stuff, right? And
Justice League War.
he definitely doesn't want to have everybody know his secret identity. Yet in this movie, I swear, it's like no one cares about their secret identity, especially Bruce, especially him. Cyborg, at one point, Cyborg puts up a picture of Bruce. There's a scene of Cyborg looking at a picture of Bruce in his Batman costume. And I'm just like, first of all, where did you find this picture? Second of all, why in the world would that picture be out there like that? It is almost the same thing as that whole thing where in Batman versus Superman, Lex Luthor having the files on potential Justice League members, and he has the logos of all the Justice League members. It's just something as stupid as that. And then the whole fact that Aquaman at one point, Arthur Curry and Bruce Wayne they're talking in the middle of, I guess you can call it a
Oh,
village
yeah. Yeah.
attack, and
The Village People.
Aquaman is like Arthur pretty much talks about Bruce Wayne being Batman, and he's all loud about it. He's like, "Well, at least I'm not dressed up like a bat." It's like, my God, do you? And like, I'm like, Bruce, tell this nigga to shut up. They about to like you see like people around you, yet y'all talking about y'all superhero identities and stuff like that. Like, they don't give a crap about their identities. So what? So what's the point now? What's the point? Bruce
It,
Wayne, that's not how the character is. And I know I'm kind of going all over the place with this, but it's like Batman, that is a character that they should not be screwing up on. Period. They've got it right so many times in the past. How are you screwing up on this? Batman is not right in this movie. The way that he tries to fight
it's
these parademons and these otherworldly monsters, even though Batman is only human, he's resourceful. He finds a way to fight all these different threats, even if it's something that is apocalypse level. And once again, Batman is like the weakest link because even in Batman versus Superman, all Batman did was hide behind a rock at one point.
okay. Let me. Can I get my
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
in?
Go ahead. I'm talking
okay.
too much.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Drink some water, bro. Um. you're absolutely right. That now that you're making me remember that eh, all that shit that was in the movie that he did not give a shit about his secret identity. And recently I just saw some animated Justice League movies on Sci-Fi because they were like marathoning them in November because of Justice League and stuff. And one of them was Justice League Doom. And you bring up him having a contingency plan for if they go nuts. That was the one that they pretty much like. He has plans to kill them, to like not kill them or nerf them if they got out of hand. This is the same guy that has contingency plans on all Justice League members, including himself, and you're
Right.
telling me this is the same man who has contingency plans on everybody and himself, that he would just be openly about. He's just open about, oh, Bruce Wayne's Batman. This is not Batman. This is not Bruce Wayne. This is some generic ass copy, clone, or something who's screwing up on everything. There's no way this is the same guy because, as you said, there's no way Batman would act like this and be just open and free about his secret identity and such. He is very, very secretive, and one of the things before, and one of the things that I noticed even before we saw the movie, I thought, looking at trailers, I'm like, Batman would not be recruiting everybody like this. If
Exactly.
it was between him and Wonder Woman would be picking up people for the Justice League roster, and not Batman. Batman will be planning shit out on Steppenwolf and all that. Not the other way, not like, oh, Wonder Woman's just gonna stay on the sidelines and just get Cyborg while Batman gets everybody else on board. There's no way. And
Yeah,
just be
too.
open about it.
Not to cut you off, but they do kind of address that. You know, the whole thing with like Bruce pretty much admitting that they need Superman and that he's not the right one to lead, and that, you know, because Superman isn't really around, that he wants Diana to really take the lead. And the whole thing, because you made me think about this while you were talking, I was thinking about the fact that Bruce Wayne threw a batarang at Ezra
Oh my
Miller's
god, yeah.
Flash. I was like, okay, so first of all, you just exposed your secret identity. Number one. Number two, what if he wasn't the Flash? Just out of the blue, like what if that was like the Flash's brother or something? I don't know. Like, is this?
You know what?
There's too many laps. It's too many. It's too many. I don't
Leaps
say
in
leaps
logic.
in logic, but it's just dumb. Like, he's supposed to be the world's greatest detective, but they don't really play on that aspect either. And the whole thing is, even if there's some things out there that can kind of tie people, that can kind of hint at Bruce Wayne being Batman for ordinary people and stuff, the Bruce Wayne in the comic books and the Bruce Wayne in the animation would not let that stuff pretty much be out there. He would find a way to cover it up or whatever. Like, he's not correct me if I'm wrong, but I think in one of those movies they pretty much say the whole fact that, you know, not many people in the Justice League know about Bruce's identity. There's only a few people that know his identity, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
and
God,
just
yeah.
like
Yeah.
here,
Oh
it's
my
like
god, yeah.
everybody knows I'm Batman. I'm Bruce Wayne. I'm Batman. That's not
Oh
how it
my god,
is.
you're
He's
right.
not Tony
You're
Stark.
right.
His character not supposed to be out in the open like that. And like, there's so many times in this movie where a superhero's identity pretty much gets revealed to people. Because going back to that whole Superman scene where Superman first wakes up and then attacks the Justice League, you got cops out there and other people seeing Superman, and then I think it was Lois Lane. I think it was either Lois Lane or Diana. Somebody says Clark. They say it real loud too. They're like, Clark, it's us. Clark, it's us. It's like, why are you using his government name?
Using his government name.
It's just dumb stuff. Really stupid stuff in this movie.
Yeah, a bunch of, you may not call it leaps in logic, but that is a leap in logic to me. If Batman's just open about shit, and like, oh, they're just gonna call him Clark in public. In public, I can't believe I forgot that too. But God, yeah, new anime Batman and earlier Batman's iterations of him will be looking at Affleck's Batman, and they'll be like, "Bro, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? This is not how we do. This is not what we do. What are you doing?
I mean,
What are you doing?"
whole time he's just like, okay, I'm not the one for this job. Superman's the one for this job. And the thing is, if you don't have Superman out there, I mean, it should have really been Wonder Woman gathering all of them. I mean, Bruce, like I said, Bruce, I guess they had to do it because, of course, they killed off Superman. So the only two people to really do it, and the only two people that knew about the rest of the potential Justice League members was Diana and Bruce. So they had to really kind of split the responsibility of gathering the team together. And something I will say, because I think I need to mention it, is just the fact that they do come together as a team. They do have a sort of dynamic, team dynamic about them by the end of the movie. It just feels very short and kind of rushed. It feels like, and I told you this leaving the movie, I was like, it feels like there's some stuff that was missing here. And just to clarify, I'm not like we're not gonna. Well, at least not me. You know, I'm not really completely bashing the movie because I enjoyed the movie. If I had to give it a rating, it's a 7 out of 10 for me. It's definitely not the best movie that they could have made. It probably would have been better if they had, you know, postponed the movie and added in, you know, the clips that they cut out, the content they cut out, but. It's a fun, enjoyable movie for the most part, but there's just some things in here that kind of keep it from being a really enjoyable movie, a really great movie that we should have gotten. Like the villain, for example, the villain Steppenwolf is generic, two-dimensional, CGI monster looking thing, and just because we just got the. We got the Infinity War trailer the other day, and we see Thanos walking out. We see Thanos walking out in the Infinity War trailer, and you can tell, even though there's, you know, special effects and CGI on the character or whatever, he looks like a real organism, a real, for lack of a better word, a real human being. You know, he feels real. Whereas Steppenwolf, we didn't really know too much about him, his plot, his plan. Why he wanted the mother boxes, like us as fans of the animated series and then comic book fans, we know that Steppenwolf wants those mother boxes to basically bring Darkseid to Earth or whatever. But the general audience probably didn't know what the heck was going on with the mother boxes because he kept talking about the mother boxes. He kept talking about the mother box. He kept referring to it as mother or something. He kept basically spouting a bunch of nonsense exposition. His whole goal, his whole plan, it wasn't clear. It wasn't really, you know, up front for the audience. And he was just a really terrible villain. And we've seen so many villains this year. So it's kind of, you know, just compare it to all the other good villains that we've gotten this year. Even Thor got a good villain.
That says something. It's like, you know, you've done something wrong when and Thor does better in the box office than you, because no one gave two shits about no one at one point gave two shits about Thor, except now. Okay, it's Thor. Okay, we got another OP character in the Avengers. Oh, okay, but now it's like Thor did better than Justice League in the box office. What?
I mean, this is crazy. I think I showed you the numbers. I think I texted you the box office numbers. This movie has really failed. It's really it ended up making lower than the expectations. It is the lowest. I think it got the lowest take out of all of the DCEU movies. This one made the least amount of money.
I got it.
And then
I got
I
it. I
really
got it.
think. Oh, go ahead.
I got it. Wonder Woman's on top. I can't really see it. Batman vs Superman, 166 million. Suicide Squad, 135 million. Man of Steel, 116 million. Justice League, 96 million.
I mean, I think it has a lot to do with a lot of people just feeling kind of burned on these DC movies. My brother hasn't even watched it yet. He said, "Man, I'm not gonna go see that trash." But you know what? The majority of my family actually enjoyed the movie. Even my father liked the movie, despite the fact that he doesn't really like Ben Affleck. I mean,
That says something because you told me like
yeah,
you
I've told
told me
you a
like you're
million times
not a fan.
before. I've told you a lot of stories about how my father does not like Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
And the whole thing is, he said after watching this movie, he's like, he realizes that more and more that Ben Affleck is not a leading man, and that is something that kind of hurts this franchise because I hate to keep going back to the MCU, but you have somebody like Robert Downey Jr., who's a leading man who can be the leader of this team, and then you have even if you don't have Tony Stark, you have Chris Evans as Captain America. And if I'm leaving the MCU and talking about the Fox universe, you have somebody like Deadpool or somebody like Wolverine, Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds that can hold a movie. But with
Affleck?
Justice League, it's just Ben Affleck because the majority of the audience doesn't really know that Superman is coming back because they wanted to kind of leave that as a surprise to the general public. So it's like they kind of shot themselves in the foot by not, showing Superman in like the promos and stuff. I think because even though Henry Cavill is not a big household name, I think a lot more people would have went to see the movie if they knew that Superman was gonna come back.
Yeah, pretty much. I, I, I got nothing. I got nothing. I had nothing. Affleck can't hold a movie. That's really all I got to say.
Okay, so let's just get into the third act of the movie. What do you think about the third act of this movie? Does it still have? Did it still have the common problems of a DCEU movie? Because for me, I felt like it did.
Well, yeah, and you can really tell that Snyder had his fingerprints all over this
Like,
with his chocolate donut fingers and coffee.
like
You could def-
all of a sudden the movie just gets darker, and there's just a whole wave of
3D
CGI
everywhere.
on the screen.
It's
It
3D
looks like an
everywhere.
old video game.
I'm like, oh my god, this. All right, we've hit PS3 levels now. It's like, okay, I know that Snyder picked this up. His fingerprints all over this. So yeah, really tell where he picks up and where Whedon was like, he came in. You could really tell the trade off where they like where one took up one place and one took up one place. You can really see it.
Like Joss
But yeah,
Whedon doing the color correction. Now we got color in the movie.
oh my
Finally,
god, yeah.
yeah.
That was one of the problems of Man of Steel because it's like, oh, look how dank and dark this movie is. If I can give Man of Steel one big complaint, it's how dark and dank that movie is. It's like, oh my god,
Yeah, like
do you
all the
just have
colors are muted.
did you have your elbow on the mute on the color mute button? Because my god, this is I what is going on? It's like I'm playing a PS2 game on my HD TV. What are you doing?
Like, what's crazy? I think you might have heard of this. People have a petition out for the Zack Snyder cut, and then just to troll those people that want the Zack Snyder cut. There are people out there that made another petition for the Joss Whedon cut. It's like, what? Oh
Yeah, it's
man.
I'm like even I told you when we walked down, I'm like expect a Ultimate Edition
Yeah.
DLC and
Yep.
Blu-rays and DVDs. I'm like, you know that they gonna DLC the
They
shit
re-
out of this
they
now.
they they really need to, but I don't know if they're going to because just how much this movie sold, and I don't know. I hope that they do. I mean, I think again, we've said this before. DC, well, Warner Brothers, rather, Warner Brothers is like really reactionary. They've been reactionary the whole time. When they found out that people weren't really liking BVS, what did they do? They started to add a lot of humor into their movies. They basically changed the whole tone of their universe and stuff for better or worse.
You're right.
And now it's like I don't know if they're going to do a director's cut because there are people that might complain about the movie the extended edition being too long or whatever. I mean, I sat there and watched the whole 3 hours of Batman versus Superman, and I watched the Suicide Squad extended cut. I'll definitely watch an extended cut of this. I feel like they just needed to add more to a lot of these characters. Like I said, I enjoyed, for the most part, all the characters, with the exception of Batman. But, but they could have done more, because I will say that, I think I already said this, but I guess I'll say it again. Cyborg barely really did anything. He was the computer guy. Like, why does the black guy got to be the computer guy? All he did was really interact with like machines and stuff. He really didn't.
It's like you could have easily given that to Batman. You could have easily given that role to Batman. Just saying.
Yeah, I mean, kind of. I mean, of course they needed Cyborg to interact with like the mother box and everything, but since this movie makes Batman useless anyway when it comes to fighting the parademons and Steppenwolf, he probably should have been helping out with Cyborg and stuff.
Especially since
Cyborg and then Aquaman. Aquaman goes on the water at one point and then comes back because he said he needs to go get something. He talks to Mera, who's like in the movie for like a few minutes, and then comes back. It's just weird stuff that happens. Or like that scene where Cyborg he jets off at one point. He just leaves everybody after they face Steppenwolf for the first time. It's just like weird stuff that happens in this movie that I feel like an extended edition would probably clear up a lot of stuff, much like the Batman versus Superman extended edition. If you watch that whole thing, the movie makes a million times more sense after you watch it. I don't mean to keep cutting you off. Go ahead.
I probably might actually have to do that, but no, I got nothing to add. I got nothing to add to that. Go ahead.
I'm not. Well, I think we've kind of covered just about everything. Is there anything else that you would like to discuss about the movie? I mean, we kind of went over some of the action scenes and everything. Like I mentioned the whole Wonder Woman scene at the beginning. Some of the funny character moments with the team and stuff. I think we kind of covered just about everything.
Yeah, we even talked about how crap Ben Affleck is as a starring role and as Batman. He needs to get out of this role. Seriously, like,
let's go ahead and give it to Jake Gyllenhaal. Go ahead.
Just if there's one major blight we can say about this, it's that Affleck has no business being Batman, and I keep saying this. I've kept saying this ever since the announcement that he was going to be Batman. So, proven wrong. He sucks at it. He sucks at this role. I have not been proven wrong on this.
People give him too much credit for BVS, man. They keep giving him too much credit for that warehouse scene. That has nothing to do. That had really nothing to do with him, man. That had nothing to do with him. That was more like fight choreography and stuff than really Batfleck really putting more into the role.
The less Martha versus Martha movie, the better.
Speaking of Martha, there's a callback to BVS in this movie.
Oh shit! I remember.
They were like, "Oh no!
Oh my god, no!
You bleed!" Like, I wanted to do that, but it's kind of like, well, you know that he bleeds because he's human. Bruce is human. When Bruce came up to you in Batman versus Superman and said, "Do you bleed?" It was because you're alien, and he's like, he's never really encountered an alien before. Then he's like, "Hey, do you bleed? You will." It's like, okay,
I wanted to stand up and be like, no, 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 you do not.
Martha, I thought the whole Martha thing was gonna come back around too, because Bruce said at one point, "Oh yeah, we brought out the big guns," and I thought that instead of Lois, it was going to be his mother, because Martha was the key word that snapped Bruce out of it last time, right?
Yeah.
So it would have been a callback kind of to that. Well, either way, they did do a callback to BVS. But I thought the whole Martha thing, if they would have done it here, I think it would have made that scene in Batman versus Superman kind of less kind of funny, less cheesy. It would make the scene have more significance, and you'd just be like, okay, now I kind of realize why y'all kind of did that. But yeah, man, that I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
Something that we didn't cover yet was that whole scene where so like throughout the movie, Steppenwolf is trying to get the 3 mother boxes and everything.
Loot
And
boxes.
he goes to the Amazonians. Oh my god, I can't even speak. He goes to them, tries to get the mother box. There's this great scene where the Amazonians are trying to get the box away from Steppenwolf, and he's like cutting them down and everything. I thought that was good. And there's even a flashback where I think it was Wonder Woman basically talking about Steppenwolf and his past and everything. And we get to see what looks like Shazam, and then of course Green Lantern. But a lot of people said it wasn't Shazam. Because I turned to you, I'm like, oh, is that Shazam? But a lot of people said that was Zeus. I thought that was Shazam because the white lightning.
Yeah. It's hard to tell with DC, man. If they're not like, if it's not in your face about, oh look, it's Shazam, then if it's
Like, one thing I will say, I like the fact that they had that type of nod, like those type of nods in the movie. Got to see Green Lantern ring, the Green Lantern ring just fly off after the person died and stuff. So we know that the Green Lanterns exist, and that there's going to be a Green Lantern soon. And like I said, I really want to believe that was Shazam. But yeah, there was just Easter eggs with that, and yeah, I think we kind of covered everything.
Speaking of, I got 2 things. Speaking of Green Lantern, like if you guys are gonna put Green Lantern, if this even survives with the way Justice League did,
yeah, because we really don't know if
it's like
Justice League too.
This is really up in the air at this point, and with how many spin-offs and shit that they plan to do. I'm using quotations as I say this. But the way this did, who knows? If you bring Green Lantern in here, make him semi-OP, because
I thought you were going to say make him black. That was the first thing I would have said. Make him black. You need another black hero.
Make him black.
It doesn't have his whole body ripped apart. Like, why is it the only black superhero?
Yeah. Oh my god, you're right.
gotta have his whole body turned to metal or whatever, and he's just kind of like the tech support guy. Please, can we not get Hal Jordan? Can we get John Stewart? That's all I'm saying.
Okay, and it's like, if you're gonna put a Green Lantern here, he needs to be OP because it's Green Lantern. He can make anything with a fucking ring. Okay, I don't even need to explain why I say that. And yes, make him black. And also, the after credit scene.
Oh yeah, we definitely got to talk about that.
The after credit scene. Can we please get
your boy Jesse Eisenberg in the movie?
This fucking
coming back as Lex Luthor.
It's fucking Jolly Rancher having ass. I hate him. You go. You take this one.
So apparently Lex Luthor escaped out of prison, and now him and Deathstroke, which we're also seeing here for the first time. Deathstroke played by Joe Manganiello. I guess is how you pronounce his last name. Anyway, Joe Manganiello, whatever the heck his name is. I can't even pronounce his name. But Deathstroke. We see Deathstroke and Lex Luthor. they're talking, and Lex Luthor says, "Hey, we need to make a league of our own." So I guess they're gonna make a Injustice League, which is basically just a version of
A League of
the
Villains,
Justice League with like villains, basically.
Villains League, or League of Villains, or just like I don't know.
Legion of Doom. That's what I thought it was going to be,
That's
like
it.
a
That's
Legion
it.
of Doom,
Yeah.
basically.
I groaned so loud when Heisenberg
I
showed
guess we
up.
need a league of our own.
I'm like, no, this wasn't worth it. This wasn't worth it. This wasn't even worth the Slade reveal. This was not worth it. Why drag him down with you?
There were
Don't.
some people that said that Slade looked weird. I was like, what?
Really?
Like, people complain
Really?
about everything.
Dude, people will pick at anything. Slade looked
His
good.
beard looks weird. It looks caked on. It's like, what?
Seriously, we're gonna complain about Slade's beard now? How about we complain about the Jolly Rancher having ass that's still in this role?
I mean, they had the chance to replace him. Like, I thought that when they went to go get Lex Luthor, dude was just gonna turn around. It was gonna be Bryan Cranston, and everyone just loses their mind.
That would have been the best kind of.
I was like, oh my god, this yes.
I would have been like,
Cranston
here. Walter White is going to take over the world, bitches. He's resurrected.
Instead, it's still him, man. It's still Jolly Rancher. Still Jolly Rancher.
I will never
Eisenberg.
I will never forget this man just puts Jolly Ranchers in people's mouths and shit. I will never forget how stupid his shit was. I will never forget just how stupid his scenes were in that movie. If there's one
to watch this, he needs to watch BVS, because I read, well, not I read, I saw in the interview, he says he doesn't watch movies. He doesn't watch movies, and he doesn't watch his own movies. I'm like, you need to watch how bad your performance was, dude.
So
watch how bad that was.
Worse. That I did not know that. That makes us even worse.
Yeah, there's a lot of actors. It's weird. It's like there's a lot of actors that like don't watch movies or don't watch TV. Like, how can you not watch the medium that you're in? That's like me making a game, but I don't play video games. It's like, what? You have to. Have to be able to. You have to be able to kind of. How do you put it?
You have to look at your own.
It's just weird. It's just weird.
You have to look at your own. That's like writing a script. That's like me writing a script and I don't never look back at it. It's like it could have spelling errors, it could have run-on sentences, it could have commas everywhere, it could have this, that, and this, and I never read it again.
And especially if you don't look at especially if he doesn't look at his own movies that he plays in, because it's just like, okay, you can kind of critique your own performance. Maybe that's why you're doing bad, dude. Like, this isn't Lex Luthor. This is freaking Riddler.
Yeah, man, like this would have been a perfect setup for like Bryan Cranston, and we would have just lost it. It's like, oh, Walter White got resurrected.
I was expecting something really big when he touched the dude. He turned around and stuff, and they found out that, you know, it's not Lex Luthor, it's somebody else. I'm like, oh snap! Could they replace Jesse Eisenberg?
I'm like, could they have actually done something? Could they have actually done the smart thing and got Cranston now?
So I guess the second movie is going to be basically the Justice League versus the Injustice League, or the Legion of Doom, whatever they're going to call them. But if we get a second movie, because I don't know.
Yeah, if we even a sequel, because seriously, how bad this did in like ticket sales and them reshoots and that 3D
that mustache
canceling
CGI out and everything.
Yeah, it's like you guys wasted so much money and you didn't make it all back. That's bad. That's bad. They honestly, like, I'd say learn from Marvel at this point, but they are too far in.
A lot of people saying that they should just give up on it.
Because they'll never beat Marvel. Again, I keep doing like the 10-year thing. They hit 10 years
on it and reboot. Like, my thing is, I don't want to have to wait like 4 or 5 years for them to reboot it. Because I know that their investors gotta be pissed. Those investors that gave them millions of dollars or whatever, and they want a return on investment, and they're seeing this movie and seeing that all these franchises, well, all these movies in this growing universe, this growing franchise, aren't doing well. So why should they keep giving money to DC and Warner Brothers? I mean, we'll have to see in the future,
Yeah,
but I don't
because
know about a sequel.
honestly, man, I don't see it. I really think I have a reboot, or they say screw it and just let Snyder and whoever keep going with it. But I really don't think we're gonna get a sequel. I just, I really don't. I really do, because really DC movies are becoming like the thing you just bash on before it even gets out the gate.
Like
Now,
it's now fun to really bash on DC regardless. It's just now fun to do it, and it's like the thing is, I want it to be good. Why can't DC be good like Marvel? Why can't they get their characters right and get everything right and not rush through stuff and just do stuff so haphazardly and actually have a vision? That's why they need to have somebody like Kevin Feige, like what the MCU has. Even Fox, even though Fox has their issues with continuity, I mean, they have a clear vision and a clear, tone for their world. I mean, now DC's kind of course corrected, but they still got issues. They still have a lot of issues.
I mean, and I don't see it. I just don't see it. And really, just look at the timeline Marvel's gone through. And really, Marvel utilizes everything. You got it on ABC, you got it on Netflix. Even their minor heroes, they get screen time. They utilize every form of media possible to get everyone over. The wrestling term is basically just like to get everyone some shine. That's basically what I'm saying. But DC, look around you. I see a barren wasteland of things getting shot up. I don't
All
I
I
don't
know
see
is
any good here.
all I know is the only thing that they could possibly do if they want to keep what they have established, or at least keep Wonder Woman, because they already know that is now something that is profitable for them. Is now they could do a Flashpoint and kind of fix stuff. But if they
Yeah.
do, because we already know that Flashpoint movie, that is Flash. That's gonna be the Flash first movie, which I think is completely stupid, but it might be necessary at this point. And if they do have Flashpoint as being the storyline for the first Flash movie, they need to get somebody who knows the comic books, who knows the animated movies and stuff, so that they can fix the crap that is in this universe. Period.
Hmm. Yeah, basically.
Okay, well,
I
we're just kind of rambling on at this
yeah.
point, so let's go ahead and close this thing out. So, thank you guys for watching this spoiler cast. Let us know what you thought about the Justice League movie. Like the video, subscribe. You can go to Rex Sparks' channel, youtube.com/RedEdgeX, and you can go to this channel and subscribe. And yeah, we'll see you guys later. Thank you guys for watching. This has been Negro Shotty and Rex Sparks. We're out of here. Peace.